attacking running sides.
Dave Menon lining up on James Wong for 1FM football. Here is Greg Sharp. It's underway. Third spot is on the line.
Yep, Holland and Guppy do battle for the first contest, and it was Holland that got it in the air and at ground level. Got a left foot kick forward. Brett fists it forward. Now chance for Joel Brett to win it, but it's Benalla in defence at the moment. Menon goes and wins it. Hand pass out of the pack. He's got to come out wide. It'll finish up with Thompson. He'll go out towards the far wing here at Deakin Reserve. Rokar will get there first. Martin right behind him for Benalla. The hand pass down the line is slapped back towards him, and it goes out of bounds just on defensive side of centre for the Benalla Saints as we've played 30 seconds into the first term. Kyle Power
making me look like a goose. Teddy Linden playing forward. Bannister looks to be on Egan. So a little bit of a change here, if I'm correct, Dub. Is that Egan there, 28?
Yes.
No, the Matthew Brady is playing.
Aaron Egan.
Bannister is 12.
12.
Yep.
Three guys. Benella's way.
Yeah, both 12s are on each other.
32.
Halfback flank, Benalla have the football. Their first clean possession, really, for the afternoon, and using the wind to advantage with a big, big kick. It goes inside 50. It was cut off by Dunstan. Dunstan handballed it over towards Rokar, who got the hand now to Brett, whose kick was an ugly-looking one. It's cut off now and picked up by Jaden Guppy, who went by hand. Good pressure came from the Bears. A kick over the top will find Jonty Wardle out wide, who spears a pass in towards Matty Shannon, who gets it up in the Ted Linden direction, who's playing forward, surprisingly enough, just mentioned by Kyle Hollywood Power. Really good work out of the back line here. Benalla running past one, running past two. The pressure came. It was on Marcus O'Brien, who went to ground. It was a great effort by Charlie Morrison on Linden there. Now, Benalla, again, Dave Menon. Beautiful disposal there, who had the job on Wong. He went in the middle of the ground. Now Tommy Bennett runs and carries the footy. This will go inside 50 very quickly. First look at Bannister. He led at the footy really hard. He put up one hand. He's wearing one glove, much like what big Travis Cloak does. He's back to the Bulldogs this weekend, if you like your AFL. He dropped the mark, and now it's outside of 50, and with the Shepparton through the agency of Roe Hiscock, who goes into the middle of the ground to Matty Shannon.
Shannon got a hand pass out the back. Didn't find a target, got dispossessed. Ball chance there for the Saints, but now it's back with the Bears. The Bears in the middle.
They got one here.
They go through Davies. Joel Brett marks left half forward. Just keep an eye on Matthew Brett down there for us, Michael, because he's holding that right arm of his after that contest out on the half-back flank. Wong will go towards goal, up towards the Skeen Street end. Geez, I tell you what, missed a good one there was Jonty Wardle, but he's got to have a second crack at it. I think it's is it a goal or has it been touched? No, it's a goal. Who does it go down to? Does it go down to Wardle or does it go down to
Andronako?
Wardle.
Andronako, because did he miss it the second time round?
Or who are they getting around?
Well, they're both
Eddie Lind at the moment's copping it.
Yeah,
but he didn't kick it.
But anyway, it's a goal. First goal of the game goes the way of the Saints. And whether it goes to Wardle or Andronako, 3.5 minutes gone first term.
I'd give that to Wardle, I reckon. Although raffle it. But you are right. Matty Brett getting the job. A little bit ginger with that elbow. Bannister, you can tell from that little first contest there that he's some player, just the way he moves. He looks good, but so does James Wong up the other end.
All back in the middle of the ground now. Shepparton edged the footy forward through Matty Ryan. Up to centre forward, picked up by Linden. Went in hard. Andronako around the body. Snaps one, and it's another one for the Bears against the wind. Two in a row there. Terrible start by the Benalla Saints. Sensational start from the Shep Bears. And as you heard, I thought it was about a 6-goal win pre-game. Shawnee Harrop has said it's an 8-goal wind blowing the way of the Benalla Saints. They've been inside 50 with thanks to AJ's motorcycles. How many times, MVD?
1 to 3. Benella's way. Well, Shepparton's 3 to 1.
Yep, 3 to 1 Shep's way. So ball back in the middle of the ground. They're off to a flyer.
Yeah, Guppy got it down for the Saints. Umpire's got to pay a free kick. It's going to go the way of the Bears. Davies.
Geez, he looks like Hiscock, doesn't he?
Yeah, got that same hairstyle. On the left foot, he'll go. and he goes towards half forward. Wong's in front. Oh, actually shows Hollander's there as well. Hand pass. He goes to Joel Brett.
Lovely.
Joel Brett goes lace out to Wardle. Can't mark it. It was too hard. The long hand pass will come out to Marcus O'Brien for the Saints at half back. Too fancy. He goes there looking for Marchbank. Butters up again O'Brien and gets it back. Now he goes into the centre. Well done, Kyle Power, with a beauty to Thompson. Thompson goes looking for Bannister and finds him inside 50, about 35 from home. Probably, is he on the right side of the ground here where he'll have to put it out to the right because he's on the left-hand side. They're going to the Harold Street end and he's on just a slight angle, should kick it.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen him play, Greg Sharp. Not too sure if you have as well. But
no, never seen him.
Some football, the way that he moves and the way that he can control or see where the footy's going to go, looks some play. What's the bet he misses after this, boys?
On the right foot he goes.
He won't.
Bannister. Jeez, I tell you what, it's a good looking kick. He's off to the left-hand side for just a minor score. So that's 2 straight, 12 Shepparton. That's the Bears. They lead Benalla 1 behind 1 point by 11 points, 5 3/4 minutes gone, first term.
But I tell you what, Brad Campbell's really mixed things up here.
Absolutely.
You came here and you thought that Jonty Wardle, who usually, well, I mean, he's a bit of a versatile sort of utility type player, can play in multiple part of the ground. And Ted Linden, I guess, the same sort of thing. But to start off playing forward is an interesting move here. It's worked so far. They lead by 11 points to the Bears against the Breeze, and it's an 8-goal Breeze here at Deakin Reserve.
But why? I mean, you've got a super forward in Bannister. A little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence from him. He's already looks dangerous on Brett, so I expect that change, Linden, to go back very soon.
Okay, ball's in front of the scoreboard with Rokar. He's got it for the Bears. He works his way forward with a bit of running, couple of fancy dodges as well, but his right foot kick right there, Jason Welsh, like one of your golf shots on a windy day, out of bounds on the full centre wing outer side of Deakin Reserve.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't have to be too windy the way I've been playing at the moment. Absolutely shocking golf at the moment. Good mark taken there by James Martin. Back into the side, handy inclusion for them all, coming through really hard.
Jeez.
And, well, it might even be a free kick there.
Oh, Tommy O'Brien.
Yeah, a bit overzealous. Attacked it hard.
Absolutely. He was just caught a little deep there and didn't make the contest and made something of it and cleaned up. I think it might be
Brett, isn't it?
Ash or Brett. One of them.
It's one of the Bretts.
Yeah.
Joel Brett.
Yeah.
Joel Brett.
Yeah,
Snowy.
Snowy Brett, who is back to his feet, might have just had the wind sort of taken out of him. He jumped up with his knee. Now, Jonty Wardle, who's been electrifying so far this first quarter, spears the pass. Oh, it was pretty risque there. Matty Shannon wanted it. Now he's got to go hard. He's tackled. He's dropped the footy. Prior opportunity, said the umpire. James Martin will want it. He'll want it really quickly. Shannon just tries to milk a little bit of time off the clock to allow the trailing runners to come through for Shepparton and get to defensive side. They do. Intercept mark taken. Really good one there by Matty Brett, who plays on. Handball over the top now. Nicky Rokar. This looks pretty good from Shepparton. Goes up towards Wardle again on the half volley. The kick wasn't fantastic. Now Benalla are able to force the turnover. This time Tommy Bennett has it. Handballs out wide here. Dave Menon, really good looking pass there, but perhaps just overcooked a little bit and easy to defend. Picked up on the half volley now into the middle of the ground. Benny Davies links up with Brett back to his feet, and with it, especially with the possession, his hands were really good. Now Davies, his kick was poor, straight in the chest of Andrew Narco. Is only about 5 metres in front of him. Ball hits the deck. Umpire will say, "Give it to me."
Tell you what, there seems to be that many Shep Bears footballers out there at the moment, boys. Look at the numbers in the middle of the ground, loose numbers. I mean, they've got to man up the Saints. They're a good side, the Bears. We know that.
Yep, ball up on attacking 50 for the Bears. They're going to the Skeen Street end of the ground. It's the Saints that have it. They come out through Tommy Bennett. Bennett can go on the right foot. Jeez, I tell you what, they're going wide, aren't they? Like Bannister then had, look at the paddock he had to lead in, and they've gone right out towards the boundary line. It'll go out of bounds left half forward for the Saints. They had so much space in front of him to lead into, and Bannister's led to the boundary line. We've got a boundary throw in. 12 plays, 1 in favour of the Shep Bears, and they're kicked 2 straight to just 1 behind for Benalla, who are kicking with the wind towards Harold Street end.
With thanks to AJ's boys, just an update. Andrew Narco has been credited with both goals for this game so far.
Okay.
Thank you very much there, Michael Van Dorsa. Handball out wide towards Hiscock, who's really good pass now to Shannon. That was a good pass as you want the finish. Doesn't quite honour it. and goes through for a minor score there. And, well, you keep the ball low and the wind doesn't affect it as much. I'll tell you what, they're moving the ball pretty well considering the conditions are Shepparton. It's probably harder going back the other way. Benalla have been the less clean. It's really just sort of difficult to judge how far the kick's actually going to go, both for kicker and receiver.
Yep, free kick out of wing. Got to go the way of Benalla. That will go the way of Morgan. He'll go down the line. I'll tell you what, I just can't see why Benalla, as they chip the ball back inside, Blackburn.
Oh, lucky, I thought.
Probably might have got the free kick as well. He's at left half forward. I just can't understand why they're going so wide with this wind. You know, to me, it's got to be hard to put the ball back in from out there with this strong breeze blowing. Goes to full forward looking for Bannister. It's all the Bears. Bannister at ground level wins it. Weaves out with the beautiful hand pass. Oh, he's been caught red-handed. Jones for Benalla. Hurried kick. Finishes up with Davies. Now he can go back to Matt Brett. He gets a nice pass to left to half forward and he finds Rowan Hiscock.
Hiscock had minimal sort of options there.
That breeze.
Matthew Ryan it was. Kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Okay, so Matty Ryan's was the one who had minimal option there. He went to Jonty Wardle, made it really difficult for him. As a matter of fact, Impossible did go out of bounds on the full. So Benalla now, Teddy Linden, he wanted nothing of it and went really hard in the middle of the ground. Gave an opportunity back, 50-50 ball. They win it back, though, to the Benalla Saints, and it's Dean Roger who had the footy momentarily out wide now. Benalla pick it up here. Morgan weaved through a little bit of traffic, got the handball away. Did he get one in the back? Umpire said no. Linden went again. They win it back here. Wardle, who's in just about everything at the moment, over the top. Andronako takes a mark just before the boundary line. And a lot of play happening on this far wing, as predicted by Kyle Power.
Yeah, always the way on a windy day here at Deakin.
Yep. Is it Brett? It is.
Yes, it is.
It is Brett. Just on defensive side of centre. His kick goes to the attack to right half forward. And now it's Benalla Saints again through Menon. Can come out of defence. And they do. But I tell you what, the kick's cut off. Hand pass to Hiscock. The Bears have got it. Now they've spilled it. Ball is gone. Geez, I tell you what, the second effort by the Bears and the running. Umpire's got to ball this one up just on attacking side of centre. On the outer side of Deakin Reserve for in favour of the Saints. But I tell you what, the Bears, Kyle, they're working extremely well, aren't they? Really hard in this first quarter against the win. Yep. They currently lead 2-1 to 1 point, 13-1.
As far as I'm concerned at the moment, boys, it's about a 5-goal lead. Really. I mean, when you take the wind into the account here, if Shepparton are able to control the footy like this with the wind, Benalla are in really big trouble at the moment. They need to shift momentum back. They take an intercept mark, which was quite important by Jaden Guppy at centre half back. And then Menon, he hardly ever misses a target, stands up to the task really well here. A speared pass in the middle of the ground was intended for Morgan. It was cut off by Andronako. He runs back inside 50. Wong was the target there, put hands up, falls to the deck here. Benalla Saints arrive in numbers. Guppy there. It's held up. The umpire's blown a whistle. Is he going to pay a free? No, he's not. He wants to ball it up 45 metres out from Shepparton's goal. It played 13 minutes first term, 12-point lead to the Bears, thanks to Atondo Holmes.
Umpire puts it back up. Holland wins it easy against Guppy. Hand pass comes out to Teddy Linden towards goal. Bounces it through for a goal. Shepparton get their third. 3-1-19. Benalla one behind 1 point. Geez, I tell you what, they didn't need that. No, geez, I tell you what, the work rate for the Bears, fantastic.
Yeah, it is. They're a good side, as we know, and they'll be disappointed after last week. But Teddy Linden, he still remains forward, and it's paying dividends. So good coaching there from Brad Campbell and the crew, because that, as we predicted, he'd go to Bannister. Bannister yet to hit the score. Well, he's kicked one behind, but Teddy Linden with the one snag against the breeze, paying dividends.
Because Matthew Brett is back. And one thing for Bannister, he probably would have been coming to the game thinking, I'm going to get Teddy Linden. You know what I mean? Bit of psychological stuff.
Yep. Yeah, oh, exactly. I mentioned that earlier on. A master stroke there by Campbell to really mix things up big time. And Teddy Linden, class finish down forward, as you said there. And now you want to mix it up, just throw James Wong into the middle. Straight onto the footy. This is amazing stuff here, and Luke Morgan would just be lost as to what to do. And, well, that's one of the disadvantages about being a playing coach. You're actually out there, so it's not like you can make sort of dramatic changes, really, to the game plan. So, interesting to see how they respond after quarter time. Mitch Brett wins it on the half-back flank. An opportunity for Benalla out wide here. They'll run it over the line and just work the ball. About a 20-metre advantage to their end, almost to the Shep News scoreboard side. Or it's on that side of the ground, but almost equal with the Shepparton News scoreboard here. About 70 around from Benalla's goal. Nearly 15 gone into the first term with thanks to Hatondo Holmes.
Yeah, Guppy got it from the boundary throw in. Now they can work it out through Morgan. Oh, got tackled brilliantly. Geez, I tell you what, the Bears are up and about. Umpires in the back against James Wong. He's back in the middle. Now the hand pass will come back out. Chance for Benalla. Hand pass out. He was looking for Skellin. Missed the target. I tell you what, they've got to turn it over, are they? No. Umpire said a throw. It's got to go the way of Brett. Joel Brett this time. He's just on defensive side of centre. Looking around for some options. I'll tell you what, he's had plenty. He's got to go back. Have a look. It's all Bears in their back half.
Setting up well.
They are really setting up well. Now they come out wide to Davies. He'll mark. He's on true centre wing here at Deakin Reserve. Grandstand side. Goes towards the pocket. Looking for Wong. He's well done, David Menon. Matter of fact, this ball's not going to go out. It is now as Teddy Linden escorts David Menon over the boundary line in front of the Shep United rooms here. Boundary umpire to throw it in. About 40 metres around from the scoring zone.
Not sure on the kick. I would have went to Teddy Linden out the back there. I reckon one-on-one he's pretty safe.
18 points the difference here. The ball thrown back in. Dangerous position, corridor. Wong picked it up here. Hit and hope. It doesn't get much purchase on the footy, so it's sort of bouncing a little bit of space here. Cleaned up now, Wardle. Smart little handball back towards Brett. Brett back to Linden. Linden, well, he points down to the spot. There's your mark, son. The umpire, he needs to find every little bit of distance because this one here will test you hard into the teeth of the wind.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
And all the big men, including Ash Holland, who you would fancy at this range with that wind, it'll drop really short.
Yeah, well, actually Morgan set up short, but there's a bit of a gap in there where the ball might just fall into here.
Oh. So that's pretty, well, deliberate sort of an attempt here. Picked up around the body and missed. Jonty Wardle had an opportunity there, but I don't think Linden actually had a shot after all that. I think the wind picked up. He sort of felt it just bristling the eyelashes, and he said, you know what, I'm just going to do a little bit of a sneaky pass to the top of the square here because I cannot make the distance and I don't want to look like a goose.
Are you saying Ted Linden's got long eyelashes, Dub?
That was an interesting analogy, that one there. But comes out, that's Dunstan.
But how's the kick, Sharpie?
Yeah.
That went 70 metres.
Yeah.
Free kick against
Free kick, got to go the way of Warnock. Yeah,
so far, Nicky Warnock.
I've never had the wind do that to my eyelashes either, Michael. Oh, actually, well done. Good shepherding there by Matt Brett. He's allowed Mitch Brett, 2M Bretts, to get in and take an easy mark there at half back. He'll go short to Ash now, and then he'll come back in looking for Dunstan. Oh, he's missed it. He had Power there as well, but Rokar mops up. Goes to Minogue to Power. Power at centre half back, all split it out wide. He does. Andronako's got a paddock to run into. Coming across to cut him off is Roger, but he comes back into Levi Power, and he'll mark just on defensive side of centre. He'll go to Minogue by hand. He can run through the centre. Keeps it low to Holland. Holland marks. He goes back to Minogue, who's followed on. Now a nice little dab kip goes up in the way of Linden direction over the back. It's going to fall for Shannon. Shannon picks it up, screws it around on the left foot. Yeah, Wong was there. Look at that over the top, but he had a shot for goal. Minor score. They go to 3-3. 21 Shepparton Bears. They lead Benalla 1 behind 1 point. We've played 18 and a half minutes into the first term, and for the listeners, Benalla are kicking with about a 6 to 8 goal breeze here at Deakin Reserve. Have a look at those goalposts down that Skeen Street end. They are moving in the wind.
Oh, gee, they certainly are too.
That's in a while.
A pretty poor kick out of full back when you got that sort of a wind. Just found Charlie Morris.
This is the first time, Jason, that they've actually come down this wing. I reckon this is the wing they should be playing, Benalla.
Jamie Dunn went down to James Marchbank, who kicked it out in front of Bannister had it all to do against Brett. Geez, put some size on too, young Matty Brett. Not just with the man bun either, up around the shoulder sort of a region, because the haircut's ordinary. Coming from me, that's saying something. As the ball did just creep over the line. Boundary throw-in.
With thanks to GMCU around the grounds at Princess Park. Shep Swans 2 straight 12 leading Echuca 1-2-8 and Rochester 2-1-13 leading Euroa, yet to score at Moon Oval.
It'll be interesting to see this. I think today you're going to have to wait for the end of to half time to see who's actually who's got the advantage with the wind.
Have a look at the throw in here. He goes in favour of the breeze, so that's how strong it is.
I mean, at the moment, how it's sort of feeling, unless okay, so it's a free kick now going to Benalla.
Well,
must have been a push out there.
The throw wasn't the best. I would have taken it back and said throw it in again.
Oh, well, it's going the other way. So James,
that's that third man up thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so they didn't.
There's a two-nominated ruckman.
Yes.
Didn't contest the throw-in.
But hold on, the throw didn't come in real straight either. What are you supposed to do? Stand there and watch the damn thing as the ball goes out on the other side of the ground. Mitch Brett to run onto it. He does now. Gathers the bouncing ball just inside the boundary. Oh, goes down the line. Actually, really, geez, a good mark. The ball sat up in the air there.
Snowy.
And, and he had to, I tell you what, he copped it as they come through. Goes back to do good.
Yeah, this is ordinary by Benalla.
Oh, there's the numbers.
Ash, look at this.
Look at this. Chip.
This is like keeping offers at training. Shannon's got it on attacking side. Geez, good block too. Stop Morgan coming through. Ball goes to centre half forward. Hits the deck. Players in to get it. Robinson does. Long hand pass will come out to Tommy Bennett. Last line of defence for the Saints. Oh, well corralled by Nicky Allen. Great work. Comes out. Geez, the opportunity was there. It's going to go out of bounds. But I'll tell you what, they were a bit lucky to get out of jail there. And the reason why they were lucky to get out with Rowan Hiscock not getting a Kyle Power is the work rate of the Shep Bears is phenomenal.
Yeah, no, it certainly is. Thanks to AJ's when you can, Michael. Numbers for Warnock, James Martin and Luke Morgan, please.
So Marcus O'Brien, who's kind of a bit of a Morgan lookalike, picked up the footy. He dished off the handball. It was cut off. Levi Power now 1-2 handball received with Nick Rokar. So 2 disposals for Levi Power, 1 for Rokar. Onto the chest of Wong. Snowy Brett now an opportunity. The wind hit that one. It didn't come off the foot quite well. And then he follows up with Soccer. Check side Banana around the body. What's it going to do? It's going to go about 20 metres the wrong way. Boy, oh boy.
That's ball.
All sorts of confusion there. Almost could have been Luke Minogue. Caught his opponent there. Opportunity now for Benalla to escape their defensive half. They really need to get on their bike here. 22 gone. They haven't scored a goal, and it's an 8-goal breeze. Benalla make a game of it. Chasing it out wide here. Ash is going to have nothing of it. He picks it up. He keeps it in. Skillfully done as well. Dishes out the handball now to Dunstan. Dunstan goes high and long up the line there. Oh, gee, dropping an absolute soda was Brodie Webster. We know that you've got a better set of dukes than that, son. Picked up by March Bank. He goes long down towards Roger the Dodger. He can't gather the foot. It was a poor kick down there. Really hard to sort of judge. We mentioned it earlier on, but they just cannot hit a target.
Bannister never even chased him then. Geez, that was disappointing. Chance for Davies at right half forward. Puts it up inside the 50 metres mark. Wong?
Yeah, it is.
But have a look at then, Jason. That ball got kicked out there. Bannister never chased. His man ended up 50 metres in front of him and won the football, which allowed Davies to run off.
Davies, yeah.
Kyle, those numbers you're looking for Nick Warnock, James Martin and Luke Morgan combined with a total of 7 possessions.
Yeah, they need to lift.
With thanks to AJ's.
They're experienced players. We know how good they can be. This is concerning.
Especially the work rate of Shep Bears has been fantastic.
Good kick.
He's kicked the fourth goal at the 23.5-minute mark first term. 4-3, 27 plays, 1 behind 1 point, 26-point margin to the Bears.
With thanks to William Adams Ag down to the boundary, please, Hammer.
Thank you very much. Great goal by Jimmy Wong there. But just observing the Bears' passage of play and their disposal was just really calm, relaxed, as opposed to Benalla. And their numbers around the ground's insane as well. And the perceived pressure as well. We see Brodie Webster dropping a mark. Bears doing really well in the first stages of this game.
Yeah, lifted his eyes, took his eyes off the footy. You can't do that. If you drop your eyes, drop the ball. Ball back in the middle. Holland again. Got it out. Davies on the right foot. Gets it inside attacking 50. Nick Allen at ground level. Can't win it. Davies follows up outside 50. Puts it in. Oh, they're under pressure. They've dropped it. Now they can run out through David Menon. He's had a bounce. He's run to 55 out from defensive end. Goes long. Looking for Warnock. But the spoil there comes from... There with Dunstan. Dunstan got it out to Hiscock. Hiscock gets it back. Actually, Rokar couldn't pick it up. He can now. By hand, he'll come out. He'll go to Mitch Brett. Mitch Brett inside defensive 50, just steadies it and goes to Joel Brett out wide. The hand pass will go out wide to Ryan. Ryan on the right foot. He'll go down the line. Actually, sorry, it was Dunstan, not Ryan, sorry. Goes inside now. He's looking here for Teddy Linden inside attacking 50. They work hard. Ball hit the deck. Chance for Thompson to mop up for the Saints. Oh, they're under some real pressure. Umpires, yep, they've given away a free kick. Free kick's got to go the way of the Bears.
With thanks to AJ's 13 inside 50s to the Bears, 4 for Benalla.
27 plays, 25 minutes gone. And I tell you what,
let's not forget against the wind.
Against the wind. If Wong kicks another one here, I tell you what, they're in big trouble.
Yeah, they certainly are, because you're right. Yeah, no, you're right, Sharpie. I mean, it's 4 goals at the moment, and look, it may as well be 8.
What's this hold up?
The kick again, this time he absolutely lays into it, and it almost starts going backwards, but guess who? Jonty Wardle, again, who has had some kind of a quarter, takes a mark inside 50 and will shoot from about 20 metres on a bit worse than a 45-degree angle. It's still going to be a tough kick from there, Hollywood.
Their defenders in
poor
style. Hey,
0, dear.
Why would you leave a Bear, kick it into the wind? Why would you let a Bears player be in front of you?
Well, probably after the last kick. I mean, Wong's had a shot from almost exactly the same position. It's gone through post high. Not less than 5 minutes ago. Have a look at that. I told you it was going to be tough. I told you it was going to be tough. Like, I don't know if that's come off the side of the boot or he's just tried to kick the absolute leather off the pigskin. But, gee, I'll tell you what, it's tough conditions down there. Let's face it. Very tough.
I just think Benalla, this one time they've come down this grandstand side, to me with this wind, surely this grandstand side is going to provide you with a bit of cover.
And I haven't seen such poor skills either. Like all season, I seriously haven't. Like their foot skills are actually quite good, but receiving the pass just seems to be impossible. As a matter of fact, I'd like to know how many marks for the quarter Benalla's actually taken. I don't think that we have that particular stat.
They've taken 2 marks inside 50, but that's about it.
Yeah, like it's just been really, really scrappy sort of stuff so far. Oh, that could have almost been dropping the ball cold. A good tackle there by Teddy Linden. The pressure from the Shepparton forwards as well when the ball has been on the ground inside their attacking 50's been really good as well.
Nick Allen, I don't think he's had many possessions, but I tell you what, he's laid a few tackles on, and his pressure at half forward is really causing a concern. Oh, the Bears, I don't think they've got a bad player out there at the moment. They go towards Holland, does Rokar, but the ball went actually over his head. It carried a little bit further than what it has been, and it's forced over the boundary line at right half forward for the Bears. And they're about, 70 metres from home, which is worth about 3 kicks today, where normally it'd be probably 2 kicks. But 28 plays 1 in favour of the Shep Bears, and we played 27 3/4 minutes as they throw it back in. Guppy against Holland. Holland easily gets it down. Chance for Nick Allen to run on it, and when he does, dispossessed of the footy. Goes out there, his teammate there in Davies is there, but he gets dispossessed of the footy. He's going to win a free kick by the look of it. Out there at right half forward, tucked up against the boundary line. Difficult. He'll be lucky to make it. I'd even be surprised if it does go inside 50. It does, but he goes towards Holland. Guppy's there as well, and he puts it over the boundary line defensively for the Saints, and they'll get a boundary throw in. I'll tell you what, the Bears kick another one here, Jason. They're in big trouble, the Saints.
Yeah, not that we would ever do it, but, and I hate going early, but anything can happen on a day like this. But at this point in time, just the Bears just look like a way better side. They are in total control at the moment as Andronako wins the hard footy. The chip kick is going to go out of bounds on the full. So that wind, I reckon it's actually picked up another notch. We'll cross down to the boundary. Hammer, can you confirm that? Because, it looks gusty down there at the moment. And where the trees weren't moving as much, as they were in the pre-game. Now they are just swaying from side to side big time.
Yeah, my focus mostly is beyond the goalposts. It's ridiculous how far they're swaying, but yeah, it has picked up compared to when I was out there.
Here's a go.
A long kick now into Bannister, one-on-one. Are they going to be able to break the duck and actually kick a goal? That needed to be the moment, because 29 minutes and 11 seconds ticks over here at Deakin Reserve, and that sounds the siren of quarter time here in the round 15 clash, where third position on the ladder, really important place to finish in 2017. As a matter of fact, arguably could be the best place to finish this year, is up for grabs. And at the moment, well, if you're a Benalla Saints fan, you would be pretty upset with the effort of your side in the first quarter, because against the breeze, the Shep Footy Club were able to conjure up 4 goals for 28 to the Benalla Saints, 2 behinds.
I was very happy that they supported their defence, but emphasised that there's still 3 quarters to go.
Well done down there, Hamish Sneed, in trying conditions for our boundary rider this afternoon. Don't worry about that for a moment. The work that you're doing is certainly not going unnoticed. We appreciate it. That siren sounded the start of the second term. It's a nothing ball in the middle of the ground. Ball goes up and down in one spot. Nick Allen was on top of it. He handed it back to the umpire. And for Greg Sharp on 1FM, he'll call you the next passage of play.
Here we go. Holland against Guppy, easy, but it went to Morgan. Morgan's long hand pass will find James Martin for the Saints. He can go inside 50 towards Bannister, and he's in front. And he takes the mark in front of Levi Power.
Yeah, no, look, I haven't seen him at all this year, and I already know in what we've seen, Dub, that he's a smart footballer. His hands are vice-like. Sorely missed this bloke with the footy that Benalla have had over the last month. He's a really good player, back to form last week with 6.
Have a look at this. Oh, Warnock's running down there. There's not a Saints player down there.
Look at that kick.
That's going to just make it. They get their first goal. First goal of the second quarter. First goal of the game, 1-2-8. Benalla, they trail Shepparton 4-4-28. We played 1 minute, second term.
Absolute beautiful kick for goal. If you're a textbook rider on goal kicking, that's how you do it, Dub, because as in golfing terms, a swing off the tee, that was brilliant. So a good start for him.
You're exactly right, because you know what? That is what I was seeing. You know, I'm pretty obsessed with the little white ball. But
how wasn't that 50 metres back in the centre for what Bannister just did then?
Oh, I didn't actually see it.
I was watching because I could see it happen. That's where most of these umpires don't understand, mate. If you know the game, keep watching where you've got to keep watching, because what was happening up there, Bannister and I don't know where that's come from.
Dunstan's into it, Brett's into it, and Bannister just won't have a bar of it. He's just like, you want some, do you? And he's just like, rightio, go on with it then.
Yep.
So he's certainly not backwards in coming forwards, that's for sure. Now Morgan, an opportunity out of the middle. The Saints off to a really good start. They needed the first one, and it hasn't really been any clean sort of possession. Now the kick up to the half-forward flank, much like what we saw from the Saints in the first quarter, really difficult to control. It was Jonty Wardle who had a chance. Now Brody Webster came through like a freight train, picked it up, speared the pass up the half-forward flank here. Over the top of the footy here is Dunstan.
Ball up.
And he might have got a shove in the back there. The umpire was happy enough with the tackle. Roll him over to the side and he'll throw it up there. Holland. Just a deft little touch there. Picked up by Levi Powell, who'll run and carry to the middle of the ground. He's got to get rid of it. Good talk there. He found out quickly that he was actually hot, and he just chipped past that. Now Webster. Linden was really good. Guppy's got to be good as well. The handball goes back over the top here. Oh, well done. It was picked up by Tommy Bennett. Now Bennett up to the half-forward flank, and Benalla with an opportunity here through Lukey Morgan.
Yep, just on attacking side of centre, going to the Skeen Street end. His kick's a bit of a wobbly one. Into the breeze, it'll bounce. And Mitch Brett can pick it up for the Bears. He'll come out looking for Levi Power. He's tucked up against the boundary line, grandstand side. Goes down the line, and he finds a teammate there in Matthew Ryan. He'll go long towards Wong. Put it out. Beautiful kick. Good call. Kyle Power. Put it out in front of him. And this is why they're going to play this grandstand side. How clean was the kick? Best one we've seen all day. He's marked, 40 metres from home in the Shep Bears pocket, and I reckon he's got the wind right behind his back kicking for goal, Jason.
And look, the manning up has been ordinary from a Saints defensive point of view, but you're right, Sharpie, this is the way, this side.
Yeah, you got to aim left goal post here. out to the side. That's a good-looking kick, and it's just sort of started it too close to this side. And I think I did a bit of a Kyle Power there, because I reckon you got to aim right goal post, not left.
Correct.
And the wind had very little effect on that kick, so that's why you need to be, out in that pocket. Webster to get us back underway.
Seemed to actually go the other way, to be honest. It was quite strange. But, gee, a big mistake there. It's at full-back. They're going to be under the pump here, big time.
Hot.
Opportunity now for Davies around the corner. He snaps and he missed. Went through for a minor score.
The fundamentals, Dub, under no pressure whatsoever.
Appalling, aren't they? The skill level, it must just be like Hammer said, and you've mentioned that word, just perceived pressure. They know that there's a lot on the line here today. We're maybe forgetting that a bit. These sides, this game is season defining for them. We're 3 weeks out from playing finals football, or 4 weeks, with the 2 week bye, of course, the split round. But, this game here, the 4 points this afternoon, absolutely crucial. And, well, almost. But Dean, Roger the Dodger, takes the mark. He had to take the second bite of the cherry here. And this is really good coaching by Brad Campbell, because this is what Benalla didn't do. They didn't push their numbers back either. You can see here the press is on.
What do you do here? You just go,
you just
go long.
Do you know what I do? I put it on the boot and kick a chaos ball right up to the hot spot, which is exactly what, was it Wardle? No, it wasn't Wardle. It must have been Andronarco out there has decided to do.
But even with that, Wardle stayed down. Everyone else went to the pack and tried to get in the pack. Wardle stayed down. He was not that far away from sharking one there, Kyle.
Correct.
Geez, I'm looking at two teams here. One that's wearing the yellow and brown, that's pretty well organised, well set up, and the other one wearing the red, white and black.
Yellow and maroon.
Hey?
Yellow and maroon.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Let's not forget this is 3
Looks
years.
like brown to me. I must be partly colourblind. Having said that, though, thank you, Michael. But the ones in the red, white and the black, I tell you what, are like chaos, mate, all over the joint.
3 years making this setup from Brad Campbell. How he's got this side playing at the moment. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, it's textbook sort of stuff, isn't it? And very, very clever. And it's going to make it very difficult. Although Benalla have come out with the right intention so far. They've just got to try to minimise the damage on the scoreboard here. They were unable to kick a goal with an 8-goal breeze in the first term. At the moment, they've come out, they've kicked the first of the quarter, played 6.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Look at Mitch Brett.
And the Bears are yet to kick a goal, but they are peppering. They're going forward again inside 50. Dangerous ball. Dave Mennen picked it up there. Oh, hot. He took on the tackler. He gave the Dustin Martin, don't argue, fend off. It was high. And a free kick was given the other way.
And Mitch Brett will make the distance from here?
I reckon if he fell over on his run-up and it hit him on the noggin, he'd still make it over post high.
I'll back him in, boys. I'll back him in.
He'll go 40 plus another 40. I tell you what, it'll probably hit the roof over on the houses. It goes right through the middle. And the Bears get their fifth goal. 5-6-36, plays 1-2-8, 7 minutes gone, second term.
Done better as kick of the footy, Mitch Brett. I think he's one of the better in the competition. Good to see him back as well. Missed last week. Sorely missed for the Bears. But look, this is concerning, real concern. Defensive acts and plays around the contest. Just got to be sharper, Greg Sharp, pardon the pun, around the footy.
What you said earlier, though, Kyle, is, or it might have been Sharpie as well, Shepparton pushing all their players up the ground and trying to lock it in that attacking.
It was me.
It was you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dub.
Congratulations,
I'll take
Dub.
Third time lucky, but no, we'll give it to Hollywood.
Yep,
Okay.
Davies out of the middle. Look at Teddy Linden attack it and win it. Hiscock got the ball outside 50. Goes back to Davies. Davies hurried right foot kick. Got to go to the top end of the square. Saints defenders there. Mennen brought it to ground. Comes to O'Brien. Now they can come out. Oh, geez, I tell you what, they're in trouble now. Webster got it well done. Steadied it. And he went wide to Tommy O'Brien. He'll go. And now they go back out this side here. I tell you what, they're in trouble going out there all the time. Ash did well. Got it to the ground. Thompson. Geez, I tell you what, swooped on it was Martin. He picked it up on the right foot. He goes inside attacking 50 for the Saints. Bannister, well done, got rid of Matty Brett, plays on quickly from 50, puts it up and sits in the air. Underneath it, do good, he'll mark it in the last line of defence for the Bears.
And on any other day, that would have been one of the best goals that we've seen all season. But the wind blew it. How easy he did that. Gee, that's frightening. He's an extremely skillful player, no doubt about that. Almost could have been a free kick. go the way of Dunstan. Opposite side of the ground. Now Bannister again. Warnock now with an opportunity. Flat out leads at it. He's too slow with the pass here.
Well, I think he's concerned about the breeze just holding it up.
Yeah. Makes it sort of easy to defend. He's got to keep it flat. Jamie Dunn ran at the football, just a young fella who really gut run from centre wing just to get down there and help his teammates out. Chance now for Benalla to at least get a stop inside their forward 50. They do. Good tackle there, James Martin. Brought his opponent to the deck, second quarter, with thanks to Harvey Norman, ladies and gentlemen. 9 minutes gone in it.
Umpire puts it back up. Holland tapped it down. Oh, sharked by the Saints. It was Bannister. Couldn't go forward. He got tackled and dispossessed of the footy. It hit the ground. In their numbers around the ball, the umpire will ball this one up. It's about 30 metres around from the scoring zone for Benalla. Geez, they've been better this quarter. 36 plays 8 in favour of the Shep Bears. 9.5 minutes gone. Ball back up. Holland again. Winning it. Rokar. Hand pass. Now they can run out with a long hand pass to Andronako.
Good work.
Actually, sorry, it might be Wardle. He'll run onto it in the centre of the ground. Look at the numbers streaming forward here. Do good got it.
Wong's
He went to
name all over
Davies.
it.
Davies can go to Wong, or Wong can shepherd it, whichever way it goes. It's got to go the distance and bounce through for just a minor score. Probably had a little bit too much on it. 5-7, 37 plays 1-2-8 in favour of Shepparton. 10 minutes gone, second term.
They run in waves, Dub, and that's very dangerous. We've seen it last week as well. That's their game plan, very attacking on the burst.
Yeah, no, spot on. Really good summation, Hollywood. It was picked up there, cut off by Andronako. They're in trouble here. There's plenty of numbers there for the Bears. Oh, really well done there. It was young Jaden Jones who stood up under pressure. Now running, carrying it. This is what they need to do. Just throw caution into the wind. Well, another pun, not really intended literally. You're dead right. Tommy Bennett did extremely well there. And to generate an opportunity, they were right down on the deck where the Benalla Saints. The switch kick was a terrible one. Almost to the advantage of Shepparton. Now, Guppy, who's got it all to do. So does, as a matter of fact, Chrissy Welsh there, who just sort of toe-poked it. And that was a coach-killing moment right there. Such hard work from the Benalla defence to generate another inside 50. Oh, big fist there. That could actually work. Middle of the ground now, Dave Mennon's got it. He's a player that you want to have the footy carrying up to the forward half of the ground. Down in front of James Martin. He couldn't take the mark. Kicked off the deck now. Shepparton, 15-metre advantage. Picked up there by Levi Power. Handball, no look, over the top, ineffective. Cut off by Bennett. Bennett's kick onto the chest of Jones. He dropped the mark. Picked up now. Opportunity for the young fella in Alan Blackburn. He got tackled with the footy. Did he have prior? The umpire said no. Sharpie liked it. The whistle went. There's some remonstration going on. Ball up.
Geez, that was a good passage of play there from both sides. Blackburn in the end, he didn't have a chance to get rid of it. Good, won it well too. Came out the back from the ruck. Went to Rokar. Got it from Mitch Brett. Mitch Brett's right foot kick will find Teddy Linden on the bounce. He does. Joel Brett's got it now. He'll go towards Wong inside 50. Ball comes off the top of the pack. Oh, Menon will get it. Oh, Cunning. He didn't take possession of it. He got tackled now that he's taken possession. Umpire balled it up. Probably good decision there.
Yeah, happy with that one.
Right forward pocket, Shep Bears.
There was a couple that you didn't like last week, boys. The umpires were a bit hot on the whistle.
Yep.
Yeah, he's given him an opportunity. I tell you what, to win the ball.
Free kick, Bears.
Teddy Linden's going to win that.
He's deft touch just here in front of us, boys, on the wing. Outstanding. Ash Holland's game, let's talk about that. How many contests is he winning around the ground and also rucked in the centre ground? His ruck work, he's the best in the competition. And the midfielders are
The most important part about it, Kyle, that when he wins it, it goes to a teammate. That's the most important part about it.
I think that is absolutely hands down. And check side. Teddy Linden. Almost a bit of magic for the Teddy Linden lovers out there. There's plenty across the Goulburn Valley.
Ask John Broderick.
Exactly right. Who has had a rather quiet afternoon. Young Johnny Broderick, who's spending a fair bit of time on the bench. He's just warming up. No, Aaron Egan. No, Broderick not even out there, is he?
He should be somewhere.
Yeah, he should very well be. Any disposals for thanks to AJ's for Broderick?
Nothing as yet.
Okay. There you go. Sharpie?
Haven't actually seen him either.
No.
Saints bring it back and all good pressure. Is it Ash that's put the pressure on? He sends it back towards goal. And off to a minor score. It is 5-10-40. The Shep Bears now at the 13.5-minute mark. 1-2-8 Benalla.
They've had 7 scoring shots this quarter with thanks to AJ's for 1 goal 6.
Yeah, it's a poor return, isn't it? They've really controlled a lot of it, much like they did in the first term. But it's just so hard going forward. I remember playing in conditions like this, Sharpie, and really, I think that you got one of two choices. Either absolutely bash it as long as you possibly can and just keep on injecting it down there, get numbers down there and then rely on your crummers to actually finish off, or do what you said earlier on and take a little bit off the kick. Take a bit off the kick. There's going to be a 50-metre penalty given.
A free kick against Dogood. He ran back with the flight of the ball and kept his eyes on it. Gee whiz.
Sharp, not happy.
Oh, no. When players do that, that takes courage, mate. That takes courage. And when you get a free kick against you, I tell you what, it's hard enough keeping your eyes on the footy. Tommy Bennett's got it. Centre wing out of side of Deakin Reserve for the Saints. He'll go back and he'll find James Martin on the right foot. Oh, he kicks a scrubber. Now it'll come Rokar and pick it up for the Bears. And with a bit of pace and a bounce, he'll run and send it back. Wong over the back sleeve. Got the advantage. He actually had Andrew Narco or Wardle running right next to him. He could have laid the hand pass off, but he's got to have a shot from about, 35, 40 metres nearly directly in front.
Menon has got to be a little smarter there with James. Well, we know he's a nippy customer around the forward 50 area, but once he's on his own and the fast bit of play is so dangerous, just got to watch the man there instead of the ball.
And if he learns anything from Mitchy Brett, which it looks like he
just
hit the post, and, well, they're swaying from side to side.
That's from the wind too, not from the ball hitting it.
It's a combination of the two now, isn't it? Goodness gracious me, it is windy out there. 32 points is the differential here to the advantage of the Shep Footy Club. They are really ramming the point home here.
Rowan Hiscock on Luke Morgan. Geez, he's done well. Hiscock hasn't had much of the ball himself.
No.
But
he's nullified Morgan.
Morgan.
7 to 8. Hiscock versus Morgan there.
All right. Yeah. Boundary umpire to throw it back in. Yeah.
No, I mean, nothing. I mean, compared to Luke Morgan's lofty standards, but don't worry. There'll be a purple patch for him. He does it every single time you go out and see him play. It wouldn't be surprised if it's in the third quarter because, I mean, at the moment, they are in big strife. But to their credit, they've been able to minimise the damage and at least have numbers there to apply enough pressure to make it hard for Shepparton to score this quarter. They've had 7 scoring shots. They've only just been able to 8 scoring shots, 2 goals, 6 for the term. And Benalla take the ball inside their 50, but it's cut off very easily by Mitch Brett. The kick up to, and here is
Aaron Egan.
Dub, let's go around the grounds thanks to the GMCU. Shep Swans 5-1-31, Echuca 2-5-17, Rochester 6-5-41, Euroa 2 straight 12.
Okay, umpire puts the ball back up in the centre. Notice what happened with the Bears then. As soon as they won the footy at half back, they headed out this side. Now this kick's going out towards the scoreboard and it'll keep running end over end. David Menon first there for the Saints. Steady. So you can put the ball up the line to Tommy. Sorry, it wasn't. It was O'Brien. O'Brien will go over the top. Now they can get it forward through Webster. Webster with a long kick. He goes inside 50. Kyle Power puts his hands out. Levi Power just stands there and takes the mark. Who too? Now down the line they'll go Dunstan. Oh, he's dropped it and it's going to find its way over the boundary line. Chance for Warnock because he slapped it back in field, but Warnock's tackled. Centre wing out of side of Deakin Reserve, out of bounds. 40 plays 8 in favour of the Shep Bears, and we played 17 after.
I was just looking at Bannister in that. It may have been held. That's why I thought Sharpie, the arms were out. Maybe a held decision, but no, it wasn't. Dub.
I'd be moving Nick Warnock.
He's done
onto the ball. That's what I would be doing.
AJ's, please, Michael, for Nick Warnock.
1 possession.
Yep. And, fantastic player. I met his grandmother and auntie, or great auntie, yesterday. Well, I know his great auntie quite well, who does a bit down in the station. So g'day to the Warnock family who'd be listening in to the call. As the kick coming forward now needs to be pretty clean. Shannon was underneath it. Oh, he was really good. He stood up there. Brave stuff there, Shannon. Take 2 bites of the cherry and then go back the other way now. Minogue in the middle of the ground, kicks it down. The foot race is on. Menon v Wong. 2 Rolls Royces in this competition. An interesting one. Wardle now from a standing start. Sprayed it right. Not his best effort.
That's his third behind.
Had Teddy Linden by hand too. To his left.
James Wong's turn of foot. Exciting. Sharpie.
Yeah, well, he's on
Keeps his feet as well.
Yeah, Menon's got a good set of wheels on him as well. So it's a good matchup, those two, especially when it hits the ground. It's very good indeed. 41 plays 8.
Yeah, 1 goal 8 for the quarter for the Shep Footy Club. So
1-8.
Yeah, we said it was difficult to score down that end, but I mean, thank goodness really for the spectacle that this game is, because I mean, if they'd kicked a little bit more accurately, we may as well all be going home at half-time. And that kick was a dangerous one to centre-half back from Benalla. It was picked up there by O'Brien. O'Brien went back to Chrissy Welsh there, did well to weave himself out of a bit of traffic, create a little bit of space, but his kick was cut off by Levi Power, who takes a really good mark. Far side centre wing here, Deacon Reserve.
Sorry, Jace. The Shep players are playing in front 9 times out of 10 at the moment as well. That's what's happening.
Yep. As it was cut off there. Well done by Holland. Holland gets it down towards Brett. Brett had the running shot come there. Hiscock, who keeps on running, he sort of couldn't quite control the ball.
Mark from
Fell out of
Allen.
his hand. Yep.
Mark of the day. One-hander.
Beautiful.
Judged it well, didn't he? Put one hand out and just plucked it out of the air. Boundary umpire to throw it in. Left half forward. Outer side of Deacon Reserve. I think the Bears would like it out this side of the ground if they could. Holland in the ruck. Gets it down. Chance for Warnock to win it. He does now. Goes by hand towards his captain in Luke Morgan. Sort of wasn't one of the best hand passes to give the captain. He fumbled it at bootlace level when out for another boundary throw-in. That'll take place on, just on the left hand or just forward of centre for the Bears. Outer side. But umpire throws it back in. Geez, there's some numbers getting around the footy now.
And Warnock on the ball.
Yep.
With thanks to GMCU over at Princess Park, Shep Swans 5-2-32 leading Echuca 2-5-17. Seymour at Maripna Main Oval 5-8-38 leading the Cats 2-3-15.
Thank you very much. And of course, stick around half-time. The Great Wall of 1FM will be taking us right around the grounds, and we'll see what he's got for us this afternoon. Of course, you can also hear him tonight from 5 till 6 on the final siren, doing a great job for 1FM. Has not missed a beat all year. We really appreciate your support. Jamie back in the studio, picked up by Luke Morgan, gathered the football. His kick was a little bit scrubby. Couldn't find a target. Gains about 25 metres if you want to find a positive there for Benalla. We played 22 minutes into the second term. It is on the Skene Street end of Deacon Reserve on the right forward flank. Benella's way. This is the way that they're kicking. Picked up there by Chrissy Welsh. Got it to Morgan. Morgan's kick's going to be cut off by Nick Rokar. Too easy for the Bears there. Gee, they set up so well defensively. They really just know where to be.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, it pays dividends, doesn't it? Because if you're in the right spot, well, you're really increasing your chances to win the footy.
Just with the advantage they've had, though, the Bears, I'm just disappointed they haven't used this grandstand side. I mean, really taken the risk and come out here and head it from where the centre wing is at 45 degrees to goal. To me, that would have been the way to play.
Just on this breeze, boys, Western Footy League have had a game suspended due to a goal post snapping in half.
There you go.
Wowee.
So there
That's how windy it is, Dub.
Yeah.
Well, some of the forecasts for down that Western District today were for gale force winds. I mean, the breeze is strong here, but it's really not. It's not gale force, but I tell you what, it's still difficult to play football in, as we're seeing today, as the siren sounds for half-time. 5:11:41, Shepparton. Benalla 1-2-8 went 22. And 22 minutes and 20 seconds for the second term. So
I reckon that's the shortest quarter of football we've had for the whole year. First quarter was 29 and a half, and there you go, Sharpie.
Went 22.
Yep, very, very short quarter of football. Let's give us a score. Thanks, Greg Sharp.
5:11:41 plays 1-2-8 in favour of the Shepparton Bears.
Well, Jaden Guppy in the ruck. That's where, at the moment, they're being smashed. The Benalla midfielders really need to lift. Let's see if they can do it. Third quarter with thanks to Shepparton Optical. Here is Greg Sharp.
Actually, Guppy got the best of that one over. Holland got it down. Chance for Tommy Bennett to get it out. He did to O'Brien. O'Brien over to Thompson. Thompson on the left foot goes inside, attacking 50. Didn't look. Levi Power is there for the Bears. Takes a mark. Goes out wide. Hiscock will fly and take the mark, and he does. He's at right half back. They're going to the Skeen Street end, the Shep Bears. Chips it into the wind nicely. Finds Shannon. Shannon will go out wide. Now they can load up and go forward, but David Mennon's got to come across and intercept the mark. It was heading there. It was it Wardle or was it on Andriaco that was the target? They're going to come out wide now, and they'll find Roger. He's in the back pocket, and I'll tell you what, the Bears are working hard. Teddy Linden on the mark as well. No change to the half-time score. It's still the Bears in front by 33 points. Comes back out. Hiscock will mark it. He does. Plays on the mark. On the left foot. Goes towards Wong. Kick to Tommy Bennett in front. He marks it centre half back for the Saints.
Yeah, picked up by Menon, who sort of half butchered a kick there. Marcus O'Brien is there to meet it. He can't pick it up on the half volley. Brett can. He kicks it over the top. Now, Andriaco improved. Takes the mark. He has had a pretty good year for the Bears. He kicks it up to the hot spot here and almost against the flow. The umpire says, I'll pay that mark. Second bite of the cherry.
They'll take it back here to the pocket or the flank. Marcus O'Brien, 1 on 3. Chances are you probably don't win the footy, and the Bears get it, turnover, and resultant shot on goal for them.
So where were the other Benalla numbers? Like, are they just in damage control? They're kicking with the wind. They need to generate something here. Ryan runs in for Shepparton. It's across the face. Now, did that go out of bounds on the full? Yep. Teddy Linden wants to have a shot on goal.
Yeah, no, the boundary umpire signalled out on the full.
Yeah, Teddy Linden tried to play that one really well, just did not make eye contact with the boundary umpire at all and tucked it under his shoulder and said, mate, I'm having a shot. But unfortunately, the whistle overpowered the arrogance of Big Teddy, and he had to give the footy back. Now Benalla off the half-back flank here. The kick up to centre half forward, needed to find a target, it did. And the target was Blackburn, whose kick now into a little bit of open space there. It was a good mark there by Martin.
Well, good lead as well. Really good lead, present lead.
And where did he lead?
Right,
and to the right spot too, didn't he? He's got the wind at his back now when he's kicking for goal.
Left goal post.
Well, I said that they need to kick 4 for the quarter. They would kick at least 4. And I reckon, Sharpie, you said during half-time they'll need to kick about 7 or 8 to win the game.
It's a mum.
That is
out in the full.
Sprayed. Gee, that's a terrible kick.
Yeah. The drop, everything there. the run-up, the whole shooting match was all wrong. And where to go? Straight out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, that's what you call butchering.
Sums up the day for the Saints, really. Doesn't it?
But when he just started to come in to kick it, he just didn't look interested to me. Anyway, ball in the back pocket, Mitch Brett.
Well, it'll be interesting after the game to look at the potential permutations with the top 3. Well, the top 2, really. I mean, Kyabram finish in top spot. Does this potentially open the door for Seymour even to jump up into a 3rd position?
Yep.
It's still a possibility
it
for
is.
them.
Yeah,
and with Euroa trailing at the moment as well to Rochester.
Yeah, it's a big game. Knew that.
Yep, ball to full forward there. Comes off the deck. Chance out the back for Brodie Webster to put him back towards the top end of the square. His left foot kicks off to the side. Mitch Brett will win the race there. Keeps it in too. And he'll go by hand. He'll go to Davies. Davies will come back into Mitch Brett. He runs past the scoreboard that shows it's 41-8 in favour of the Bears. He goes to centre wing. Was the free kick, or is it going to be a mark out there? Is it Wardle that's out there? That post gets in my way again. He comes infield anyway. Comes inside and he finds Davies. Long hand pass again. It's going to finish up with Shannon at ground level. They're mucking around with it a bit here. Good pressure from the Saints as well. The umpire said you had prior opportunity. That's Shannon. And he was 100% right. He mucked around with it. He had a few chances to get rid of it. And it goes the way as a David Menon that's laid the tackle on. And he'll go short to, I think it there is Nick Wood. I think it might be. There is it number 14. No, it's not. It's a little bit further down. Might be his teammate there in Thompson. He'll go long towards Warnock. Warnock can win it now. He dropped the mark. It goes to ground level. Roker wins it back. Now they can run it out through Davies. He goes back to Roker. Oh, it's centre half back. The wind wasn't kind. Oh, got a hand past to Levi Power in the nick of time. Goes towards Holland. Oh, turned it over. The Bears are starting to muck around with it. Chance there for Marchbank and O'Brien to win it. But it's the Bears back in there. That's a free kick every day of the week, surely. It looked a bit high to me. But the umpire said we'll ball it up.
Sitting on his back as well.
Yep, tacking side of centre for the Bears.
Very unlucky there.
What's it, 5 1/4 minutes gone, third term. 41 plays 8.
Yep, with thanks to Shepparton Optical. It was tapped down there by Holland. Did well there, James Wong. Weaves his way out of a bit of traffic. The kick was pretty ugly and it went out of bounds on the full. And the player that you found it difficult to pick up there, and I don't blame you, Sharpie, because he sort of blends in with the fence, that far centre wing here, Deacon Reserve, is. In fact, you got it that time. Paddy Robinson, who takes his opponent on. Oh, gee, he was really risky there. Needed some help from Webster, who's dropped it cold. Good pressure. Andrew Narco turns the footy over. And not good enough by Webster. Needed to be quicker, or Robinson. Just bomb it long.
50.
Just kick it.
50.
Is it?
Yeah,
Well,
not
it's
50.
a downfield free kick
Yeah,
here.
it's a Matt Ryan.
It's going the way of Matt Ryan. But why would you stuff around with it? That's exactly what happened in the first quarter. Why would you bugger around with the footy? Get the thing inside 50. I mean, you're 5 goals down in a game where you've got an 8-goal breeze and you're piss-farting around with it on the far side of the ground. Kick it.
Well, Robinson again, he'll go back to Menon. See, this is where they're mucking. You're right. This is where they're mucking around with it. My point of view, they've got to be 3 goals in front, Benalla, at three-quarter time, and the way they're going about it ain't going to happen with this breeze, and they're persisting out on that outer side of Deacon Reserve, and to bring the ball back into the wind, to me, is hard. For Benalla, they should be playing this side of the ground and taking a risk to try and kick the 8 goals. That's how you win games of footy. And there's a chance for Webster at ground level, but Mitch Brett works him off the ball, but Webster's good enough to go back and get it. The pressure from Mitch Brett has forced the kick to go out of bounds just on defensive side of centre wing. Mitch Brett will get the free kick out there for the Shep Bears. We've played 7 minutes into the third term. 5-11, 41 plays 1-2-8 in favour of the Bears. Benalla have only kicked the 1 goal for the game, and that goes to Bannister. Towards Wong they go. He's going to win the free kick against Morgan. And Wong on attacking side of centre for the Bears. He'll put him into attack. Goes out wide. Geez, I tell you what, they're going to work it. Oh, actually, they're going to play on very quickly and move it quickly now. The Bears go up the top end of the square. Hollander's there. Can't get it. The spoil came from the defenders of Benalla. Menon got it back. Robinson, hand pass, looking for Tommy Bennett. Didn't find him. Chance for Ash to run onto it. Well done, Thompson. Laid the tackle on Davies. Hurried right foot kick into attack for the Bears. Goes towards Teddy Lyndon. Wins it now. Hand pass. Who was that? Joel Brett kicked it over the top of his head. Wong tries to mark it, can't. Coming out of defence is Robinson. Gets a kick out forward, looking for Jones. Can he pick it up? No, he can't. Actually, sorry, it wasn't. It was done. That he can't pick it up. Now O'Brien can. He'll go short and he'll find a teammate there in Roger. He'll go to Tommy O'Brien at half back, and they're mucking around with it. Jason, you can have it.
Yeah, they certainly are. Back into the middle of the ground here. Bit of sloppy footy, but they somehow clean it up there. Well done. Brody Webster went back out to Marcus O'Brien, who went long now and gave, well, the superstar, one of the superstar forwards in the competition, a rare opportunity. Just the 1 goal, averaging nearly 6 a game for the year so far. Here's a little bit of Bannister magic. Reels around onto the right foot, and, well, a little bit of defensive magic coming back the Shepparton Footy Club way. They had a really bad third quarter last week against Euroa. 6 goals straight they had, kicked to none. And, well, they're turning it around this week defensively, doing a really good job so far. But that was better by Paddy Robinson. Just pick it up and kick it.
Yep.
Just quite simple. It is so frustrating to watch. You can imagine if you're Luke Morgan. I'm not sure what the message is to the players.
Free kick, got to go the play here, the Saints too.
I mean, on days like this, when the conditions are different, you've got to try different things. What you're doing isn't working so far. They've got to edge away at this. This is potentially season on the line.
Yep.
I mean, yep, they're going to play finals. That's okay, but what do you want to do? Do you want to have a tilt, or do you want to make up the numbers? Is that what you want to do? That is the question that I'd be asking. This win here, this needs to be the moment right now. They need to kick a goal from this opportunity.
Jaden Jones it is.
And with thanks to William Adams-Ag, we'll go down to you, please, Hammer.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure if you noticed it, but young Jamie Dunn from Benalla copped a bad knock and has some lower back pains. So he's off and he's going back into the United rooms.
Thank you.
That shot on goal off to the left-hand side. So they go to 139. They peg it back to 32 points. 5-11-41 Shepparton lead. We've played 10 minutes, third term.
Goal of Bannister, please.
2-minute mark of the second quarter with thanks to AJ's.
Mitch Brett, got to get him back underway. And look at that kick. Actually, that kick he's kicked out has gone, 65 metres, and he's actually supposed to be kicking against the breeze. How does that work? Here's a chance for Wong to pick it up out of side. He can run that flank, and he does. Has two bounces, goes long towards Teddy Linden. Marchbank over the back, gets a fist to it, brings it to ground. Now the Saints are there in numbers. The hand pass to David Menon was not a good one. Missed him, went out of bounds for a boundary throw-in at about, a right half forward for the Shep Bears.
Wouldn't read about in the AFL, GWS, would you? Fremantle, 1 point.
Overrated, I reckon, the Giants dub.
Oh, goodness gracious me. Surely they couldn't cough it up at home. $1.12, hashtag gamble responsibly. As the footy, half-back flank here for Benalla. They need to do something. Teddy Linden had front position.
Free kick.
And his opponent was all over him there. Had no choice but to give away the free kick. And Ted Linden will line up directly out in front. And he must have given a bit of lip service. And you know what? In that moment right there,
that's a gun.
Do you know what I'm actually prepared to say? And people listening in, if you love Benalla, irrespective of how far Kayabum are ahead of the pack at the moment, I am prepared to say off the back of that single moment right there, your team cannot win the flag this year.
Yep. So they go on
Simple
to
as that.
6-11.
Well,
that's how far I'm going.
Well, I think there's a fair gap from what we've seen in this game in particular, Dub, a fair gap between the Bears and the Saints at the moment.
Second goal for Teddy Linden.
Yes.
Second goal, 6-11-47 Shepparton. They lead Benalla 1-3-9. Nearly 12 minutes gone, third term. Michael?
With thanks to AJ's, Teddy Linden's just doubled his goal tally for the year too.
Yeah. I like him up forward. I reckon he's a real talent.
Do you like that one, did you, Sharpie? Had two goals coming into today.
Fantastic. Well done. Rokar at ground level, out of the middle, spins around on the right foot and puts a beautiful kick inside attacking 50. A chance there for Wardle to run onto it. Geez, good pressure, but it's been turned over. The Saints have got it now. Guppy marks it at centre half back. Now he can come to Tommy Bennett. Now Bennett can run to the centre and go long, and he does. This time, actually, the kick is into some good space. Oh, yeah, it was a poor kicking away. Roger could have ran onto it well. Mitch Brett can now. Matt Brett can get it off him by hand. He does. Puts it back to Mitch Brett up against the boundary line. Quick hand pass to Shannon, actually was too hard, too high, and Shannon spilled it and put it over the boundary line for a boundary throw in at right half forward for Benalla. Grandstand side here of Deakin Reserve. 6-11-47 plays 1-3-8 in favour of the Bears.
So the boundary umpire launches it back in. Third quarter with thanks to Shepparton Optical Services. Smart footy there by Rokar. He's had a really good day, hasn't he? Not quite sure how far he went. But Andrew Narco, he's been close to best on ground today for Shepparton. He has had an absolute blinder. Kicks it up to full forward. Here's Big Teddy again.
The numbers.
He knew that he couldn't quite have the shot on goal here. He handballed it over to Wardle. Wardle up to the hot spot there. Almost Brett. Not quite. Running at it again was Andrew Narco. Picked up by Linden around the body. Teddy kicks goal number 3. And in the blink of an eye, well, a matter of fact, probably a really long blink of an eye, about 3.5 to 4 minutes, Shep have kicked a couple of goals, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is against, well, what they reckon is an 8-goal breeze down there. But I'd love to get this stat too. MVD, how many goals has Shepparton actually kicked to the Skene Street end of the ground against the wind?
6 goals, 4.
Yeah, only one down the
Only one goal's been kicked with the wind today.
Yep, ball out of the middle now. Saints can go forward towards Bannister. He's outnumbered 2-1. Dunstan got it to ground. Chance at ground level. Roger again. Can he go forward? No, he can't. Turned it over. Rokar, I tell you what, as he had some possessions this quarter, he'll go out to Joel Brett in front of that scoreboard that shows it's 53-9 in favour of the Bears against Benalla. His right foot kick is probably going to do real good and fine touch on centre wing. Boundary umpire to throw it back in.
Talk about improved players. I've said it a few times, and Nicky Rokar, I mean, the development and the journey that he's taken with the Shep Footy Club is playing real dividends, or paying dividends.
He wins the footy at speed too, at pace. When he wins the footy, he's at full tilt every time. Here we go with Minogue. He can kick him forward towards Teddy Linden. Geez, he's having a good day at centre half forward. He won't want to give it up. His hand pass to Shannon. Back to Teddy Linden. Centre half forward, he'll chip it out wide. Davies can mark it and run on. He can probably run to 50 and put it up into the breeze and let it sit there. A chance here for Andronarco in front. Can't mark it. They brought it to ground. Andronarco on the left foot is just off to the left-hand side with a snap kick. Minor score 7-12-54. plays 1-3-9. What's that? 43 points.
Yeah, and I'm just noticing the body language from a fair few of the Benalla Saints at the moment, just really looking pretty dejected. Actually, they would have come across here today with pretty high hopes. They haven't had the best of luck with injury this season, and we've seen in terms of their reserves, they bat, well, not very deep. But with thanks to William Adams Ag, down to the boundary, please, Hammer.
I had a chance before at halftime to go into the Bears rooms, and Brad Campbell just mentioned that the lack of rhythm and the rush of disposal in that forward line in that forward line going for goal, and it has 7-12 is not a great record, and they haven't stopped. They keep rushing, shooting on goal, so something to fix.
Yep. Andronako then went forward for the Bears. Nick Wood stood between his kick and success, and he marked, and he'll kick it out towards Brodie Webster. Beautiful mark over the top of Matt Shannon. That's on defensive 50. That's where he kicks it from, right on the line. It's a long one too, the right half forward. Ball goes over Ash's head, or coming through. This bloke's done good. He does done real well. Matt Brett goes with a beautiful pass. He'll find Matt Shannon. He's just on attacking side of centre. He'll go into Minogue. He will mark, doesn't let him down. Centre of Deakin Reserve, square it across Davies. He's got a paddock, absolute paddock, but he's got to play on quickly and go towards Wong. What a well-weighted kick. What a well-weighted kick into this breeze, and he has marked, 30 metres slight angle, and this breeze, I think, has dropped right off at the moment compared to what it was.
Kyle, was that a training drill?
Looked like it. They're all over him at the moment. There's pretty big difference in both these sides.
Oh, there is. There really is a fair bit of separation here as... well, for mine,
got that one.
Yeah. Look, other than Seymour, Shepparton, we'll probably talk a little bit more about this after the game, or perhaps a little bit at three-quarter time.
Oh, here we go.
On the line.
Cross the line.
Yep.
We're on it.
Not sure why you need to do that when you got... Well, let's just say that it's a 5-goal breeze now.
Ball up on top end of the square.
See that?
Yeah. Well, that's why. Like, I mean, when Sharpie, you've mentioned, to bring it across this side of the ground, it must be really hard, because I think not only is the wind blowing an advantage to the Harold Street end of Deakin Reserve, it's also blowing south as well. So it's really sort of pushing hard across that side of the ground. Nicky Allen gets the footy off row. Hiscock goes back by hand. Joel Brett, they're going back a real long way here. Hiscock chased it out. He put the handball out in front of himself, got some help from Ryan, and then put the block on, but it was cut off by Marcus O'Brien. First time I've seen this bloke. When I first saw him, I thought, that's Luke Morgan. I had to look twice. He wears number 32.
Yep.
And maybe he's a relation to Tommy O'Brien, because he's just played the 7 games this year, but certainly a handy inclusion for Benalla. As the footy dribbles over the line here in front of the grandstand. We've played 18 minutes into the third term. This one here, ladies and gentlemen, sorry to say, would love to breathe a bit of excitement into it, but it seems to be done and dusted. 46 points as we tick towards the 19th minute, with thanks to Shepparton Optical Services. What do you got from the MVD?
With thanks to AJ's Marcus O'Brien, 12 touches this for the game so far, boys, and 1 mark inside 50.
Actually, this bloke here, you talk about team games. This bloke that just got up with the footy there, Nick Allen, I tell you what, I just love this bloke as a footballer. He's played the real team game today. He hasn't had a lot of possessions. Here he is again, bullocking through and forcing the ball out. Chance for Welsh to get it out. He does to Martin. Gets out the back. Martin's isolated. Outnumbered 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bears players there to 2. They go to centre half forward. They do. Chance at ground level for Joel Brett to win it for the Bears. He does to Matt Brett. Goes over the top. Minogue. Lifts his eyes a fraction early. He'll go to Ash. Ash has got it. She's well done. Marchbank put pressure on. Turned it over. It went the way of for Martin. Martin got it over the top. Oh, the kick looking forward, looking for Jamie Dunn.
I didn't have a shot.
And it's, good point. He's gone more towards the right forward pocket. Missed his target. Went out of bounds, boundary throw in. I tell you what, they've actually helped the Bears a fair bit here today, Benalla, with the way they've approached goal. Why wouldn't you go for goal in that situation? Just crazy.
You're right. Like, he definitely got the trip in his leg. There's no doubt about that. You just, aim left goalpost, and pretty much the wind will do the rest for you. So probably wasn't the best decision. If he had his time again, he'd probably have another crack, I reckon, Luke Morgan. But, yeah, look, I mean, all of the passing inside 50 and with all due respect to Benalla, Shepparton have butchered it going inside 50, that side of the ground as well. It's really hard to find a target inside 50 kicking with the wind, and here it sits up really nice for you, although it's hard to actually kick a goal. It sits up really well, dropping the footy. It's going to be a Shepparton free kick. Advantage should be paid here. Why aren't you paying advantage, umpire? Because Andrew Narco would have just waltzed in, Joe the Goose, bang, but he brings it back. Why don't you pay advantage in that situation, Sharpie?
Good point. I'm not the umpire.
Okay.
Probably should have. I mean, it should have
Well,
been.
why not?
Should have been. It should have been advantage because.
I don't get it.
But see what happened there. You have a look at that. Why it was advantage, because the Bears had 3-1 again. But Joel Brett, he's going to shoot for goal. A bit of a flat end over ender. He's going to drift off to the left-hand side.
Played a good game.
And, geez, I'll tell you what, name me a bad player for the Bears. Find one, Kyle.
Yep.
Bradrick.
Oh, yeah, okay, but he's been off the... Well, okay.
Hasn't been on the ground.
Yeah, but he spent most of the game on the bench. But, you have a look at all their small forwards. I tell you how good a side this is. If you could... his name just went me head for Kyabram, the centre half forward, Billy Burston. You put Billy Burston in this Bears side up at centre half forward, I'll tell you what, they take some beating. Geez, I'll tell you what, their work rate is fantastic. Free kick, going to go the way here of Matthew Ryan. He plays on quickly. He goes over the top. Oh, this is going to miss the whole lot here. Wow. And that kick there was by Ben Davies.
Interesting.
And he was in the left forward pocket in front of the Shep United rooms, and it went out of bounds, 10 metres to the right-hand side of the right-hand goal point post. So it's a free kick the way of Benalla, and we played 21 3/4 minutes. 7:14:56 Shepparton. They lead Benalla 1-3-9 here at Deakin Reserve. What are we, round 14 of Goulburn Valley football? Big kick 15. Comes back in. Holland, round 15, over the top. Warnock with a rare touch. It'll fall the way of Tommy Bennett. He gets the hand pass. He'll run through the centre. He goes long, looking for Bannister over the back. Geez, that's a good mark. Good hands. I tell you what, Matt Brett did absolutely nothing wrong there. Bannister was just too good.
He's done a good job on Bannister, though.
Yeah.
Brett today. How many disposals for Matty Brett? Thanks to AJ's.
8 disposals.
Bannister runs around. Helicopter sort of looking kick, and he's kicked. Beep. Ken Muston automotive goal of the afternoon. Great sponsors of 1FM. That is a ripping goal, and he just shows the sort of class that he has. He's had minimal opportunities.
Where's he been?
Well, he just hasn't had the footy.
No, in previous years. I mean, he's a talent, isn't he?
Yeah,
really.
No, he's super talent, no doubt about that. But speaking about Matty Brett, he's now had a couple kicked on him for the afternoon. What's the average, 5 or 6 a game for the year, Bannister?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I can tell you, 5.71 goals per game.
So almost 6 a game.
Free kick to Rokar out of the middle. Tommy Bennett was just a bit high, had him round the head. No malice in it, was just a poorly executed tackle.
41 points, ladies and gentlemen, the way of Shepparton, by the way, just a score update there.
As Rokar go long, he goes, the siren sounds, as David Menon will mark it. For three-quarter time here, it went 23 minutes and 26 seconds, the third term. And it finished, as Jason Welch just said, 7:14:56 plays for Shepparton, plays Benalla's 2-3-15. 41-point margin is it was 26 at quarter time, 33. 41 at three-quarter time in favour of the Shep.
Cutting a fine there, Benalla. Luke Morgan, quote, fight and spirit, that's all I want from this quarter. He wants to win this quarter, make a contest and use the corridor with the disposal. Bears, Johnny Bradrick's been put up to full forward, moving the ball really well, and he wants Brad Campbell wants his team to run and receive and go along with the ball. Really happy with his forwards as well. Netball, two wins apiece, 17s 33-34. In the 17s, and A grade 47-33 in the A grade for the Bears. So good win by them.
Great job there, Hamish Sneed, and we were cutting a little bit fine there as the ball comes out of the middle of the ground now. Webster wins it. He handballs it over towards Tommy Bennett, who kicks it up towards centre half forward. Almost a mark taken by Tom O'Brien. Brought to ground well there, picked up by Davies, who's now just racked up disposal number 22. So has Mitch Brett, who picked it up and speared it onto the chest of Andrew Narco, whose kick is high up towards full forward. The unrealistic attempt from behind Looked as though it might have been Egan who went the big fly there. It was, and he's given away a free
Actually, I
kick.
think it might be Bradrick.
It is Bradrick. Well, there you go.
I know. Actually, I was shocked as well.
Yeah.
I thought it was Egan myself at first, and then I looked at it. They've whacked him down the back here. Well, he was a minute ago. There you go.
Well, I thought he might have actually been maybe not quite 100%, which is why he's spent a fair bit of time off the ground for the game today. But it's certainly not one of those days that really is much good for a lead-out, hit-up type forward, or a bloke that really sort of run and jumps at the footy, which Bradrick is. So maybe just being managed down there as Webster has it, far side of the ground, comes into the middle of the ground, and he finds Martin on the chest for Benalla.
Yep. He'll go on the right foot. Oh, they've got to run. Oh, they're running, looking at the footy in the air. I tell you what, you can't do that, Kyle Power. Now there's a chance for Bannister to go long. He puts it to the top end of the square. Marchbank will mark it. James Marchbank, he's 20 metres out directly in front, kicking to the Skeen Street end of the ground this quarter. The Benalla Saints, and at the moment it's 7-14 to 2-3 to say they need a goal here. Kyle Power is the biggest understatement of the year.
You're right, Sharpie.
Oh, geez, I tell you what, he made hard work of that, didn't he? What a flat, horrible-looking mongrel pundit was. 2-minute mark of the final term. And they get a goal. I tell you what, he made hard work of that. I mean, that should have been a laid down misère, and it's one of those. Well, at least when Peter Hudson did a flat punt, it sort of travelled nicely, right? But that was a shocker. 3-3-21, they move on to the Benalla Saints. Shepparton Bears 7-14-56, 2.5 gone final term.
Martinello, Sam Martin, Josh Marchbank. Few key players missing today, so let's not forget that, boys.
Yeah, no, there certainly is, but at the end of the day, you can only play the hand that you're dealt. And, well, to their credit, they've come out here in the last quarter fighting hard. They said, Luke Morgan, actually, when he addressed the players, Hamish summed it up quite well. He just wanted to see some spirit.
Yep.
And we've seen that so far. Nick Allen, well done. Beautifully sharked out over to Rokar. Rokar's handball, though, well, it got a little bit of wind assistance there and went further than what perhaps he thought that it might. Was picked up by Dunn. Dunn's kick up towards the middle of the ground now. And is that a throw? We're dropping the foot of James Martin. Yeah, really good, isn't it? As Snowy Brett, who's had a pretty good game of footy, wins it for Shepparton. And he played on. The umpire said, no, you walked.
Rokar's kick.
Okay, so it's Nick Rokar who laid the tackle. Fair enough, brings it back. Rokar switches it up, and he'll kick it to the half-back flank now. Brett with it, actually.
It is. Big Matt Brett. He goes long towards Wong in front. Travelled 60 metres in front, took a nice good mark.
Now, why wouldn't you? I mean, this is where I might have got a little bit emotional in that third quarter when I was assessing Benalla's game, but why wouldn't you? If you were like a Brodie Webster off the half-back flank, just like what Matty Brett did then, you got the journey in your leg, you win the footy at half-back with one kick, bang, onto the chest of Wong. You've got Bannister down there. He makes no mistake, runs in, kicks his second of the afternoon.
55 for the year.
Do you know what I mean? And actually give the bloke a chance. Like, he can move the ball quickly. We even saw it in the twos. 1-2 kicks down the other end of the ground, but hand passing, switching the ball, just trying to maintain possession and play keepings off style of game just isn't going to work on a day like today, and it hasn't.
Considered being a coach, Dub?
8-14-62. No, he's no good because he's got no hair.
Exactly.
He's already starting with no hair, so he's got nothing to rip out. He's got nothing to
exactly.
8-14-62 at nearly the 5-minute mark. Final term plays 3-3-21 in favour of the Shepparton Bears, and I tell you what, I couldn't even go coaching. I'd get that frustrated.
55 for the year for Wong, having a great year.
Yeah, rip a year.
And the thing is, he's kicked 55, but they've got plenty of other avenues.
Good stat, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks, Michael.
And they come back into the middle with
Holland at home last night
against Marchbank in the ruck now for the Saints. It's going to be a non-event because the umpire, after Matt Shannon grabbed it, was tackled by Brodie Webster, and he said we'll ball that one up.
I just want to ask you, Sharpie, do you reckon Seymour can beat Shepparton? on their day?
They played here a couple of weeks ago, and it was, what, two goals, was it? 2 goals and a little bit. You know, say 3 goals to win it. I think they can. I mean, I like the way Shepparton play their game. Today they haven't played as direct. I think Brad Campbell wouldn't have been happy as Ash goes forward to Joel Brett inside 50. I don't think he'd be that happy with the way that they've moved the ball. Last week they used that corridor. They used the corridor a lot more constructive than they have today. Oh, geez, Menon, what a great mark. Geez, he looked like a full forward lead now, the way he took that. He's played a ripper game, David Menon, in the last line of defence for Benalla. But I just think they've mucked around too. On a windy day, I agree with you. Go down the middle. Hey, what happened that last goal that Wong kicked? Where'd the ball come from? Come from Mitch Brett.
That's exactly what I was saying.
And set it to full forward, you know, and as Jones marks for Benalla at centre half back, and this stuff mucking around like they're doing now, eventually in the wind you got to turn this over.
And what is Shep doing? They're pushing up the ground. So all they're doing is just choking them for space, and eventually they'll force the turnover, which is exactly what they've done. Picked up by Brett. Brett to Allen. Allen to Shannon. Shannon can wind up on the right foot and fire. He misses near side, goes through 4 behind. Would have been one of the highlights of the afternoon, although saying that, I reckon Jared Bannister's goal earlier on. Teddy Linden kicked a pretty good one there in the third. But, gee, that was a good goal, wasn't it, Jared?
The one of Bannister's? Yeah. That was special.
That was, wasn't it? That was a ripper.
That, with the wind here today, is a really good goal, that one. That was, and he ran around on his right foot, and he sort of couldn't kick it square, played on. Oh, that was just a real good goal.
Guess what we need? Another ball.
Okay, we've lost one.
Why did they ever remove that net from down there they used to have?
They haven't.
But I thought I saw the stats man, and I haven't seen him leg it. That no, he isn't legging it at all. He's just chucked it in the back of the Suzuki, and he's off at the Sharon. I'll see you at the TAB later on, son.
Ball over the back. He's played well. Holland, he won it. Look at the hand pass. Got to find Joel Brett. Now they can run onto it, the Bears, and chip it in field. Play on quickly. Bradrick goes inside to Ryan. Bradrick, Minogue. Oh, they're mucking around with it in the corridor now. The Saints are there as well. And the ball's at centre half forward for the Bears, but the umpire's got to ball it up.
Yeah, I'd just like to say a very special good afternoon to our friend Mark Owens, a.k.a. the Stats Man. Just having a little bit of a joke there, who's recovering from surgery. But keep your chin up, mate. You're doing a sensational job at getting better, and we can't wait to see you next week. He'll join the broadcast crew when we have KDFL on Saturday.
There you go, ball out the back with Ash for the Bears. He's just on attacking side of centre. How good a kick this? He's got to put it out in front of, well, Davies or Ryan can run onto it. Ryan gets a hand pass back to Davies, tucked up in that Bears pocket towards goal, across the face. Bradrick keeps it in play. Ball out the back. Chance now for Wardle. He'll go on the right foot. Drills one back to Ash. Picks it up off his bootlaces. Hand pass over to Joel Brett. Oh, they've mucked around with it now. They've needed one clean possession. And James Martin. Oh, the umpires ran in from 50 metres away and said you tackled him high. The Bears get a free shot at goal here. 63 plays 21 at the 8 3/4 minute mark. Chance to put it out to 9 goals, 15, and push it on to 48-point margin.
Yep. So
no, here we go. We're going back to the square.
Oh,
now, is that their second? Second. Okay, second resulting in a goal.
Geez, that's disappointing.
Oh, it certainly is. I mean, they're out of the contest. Let's not sugarcoat it here, but you just make the job as easy as it can possibly be for a bloke who, sometimes struggles for kicking accuracy. James Wong.
Is that Luke Morgan that gave
this afternoon?
50?
I don't know.
He was on the mark.
You know what? You know how I said last week about some of these umpires with these 50 metres? I'd really like to know what the players actually said to him. You know what I mean? You know when a player gets really upset, how they sort of remonstrate with their hands and a bit of body language?
To be perfectly honest, Sharpie, I don't think it really matters.
Oh, look.
If it's,
that's why I'd like to know what
umpire's decision.
Like I'd like to know. Some of them I think might be a little bit precious. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you've got to give it back as good as you get, if you get what I mean, from an umpire's point of view. Being both of them.
I get what you're saying.
But I mean, there didn't seem to be a lot of. And if it was Luke Morgan, surely he's got the right to ask the question.
Nice. Good mark taken there, Webster. He's taken a few good marks. He's had a reasonable afternoon for Benalla. Not his best game of footy, but certainly not his worst either. He switched passes it onto the chest of Guppy.
Oh, this is going to hold up here.
And, well, I'll tell you what, if it was anyone else other than Dave Menon, they might have been right under the pump, but he made the best that he possibly could out of a really bad situation. And then Caden Skelton, who we've seen now for the first time this afternoon, chases the footy out towards the boundary line, puts his body on the line, forces the stop out there, inside 50 for the Bears. 10.5 gone.
Yep, ball comes back in. Holland, Chip Minogue. Here's a chance for them. Oh, no, Martin gets in the way. Goes over the top with a hand pass. Morgan, hand pass back inside. Geez, they're mucking around with the hand pass. Missed the target, which was Jones. Goes back and wins it. Where they're going to go? Got to go by hand to Morgan. Morgan will go out wide. He'll find Robertson at right half back. He'll go down the line looking for Tommy Bennett. Dunstan's in the way. Takes the mark and plays on. Centre of Deacon Reserve. He's got to go long towards Wong, who's in the box seat. Ball got to go over the back of the tack. Bradrick goes to Matty Ryan. Ryan on the right foot. Drills it through for a goal. 75 they go to 21. 9:15, 75 plays 3-3-21. 11.5 minutes gone. Final term. Kyle Power.
Yeah, look, smart goal from Matty Ryan. He's had a reasonable game. You are right, Sharpie. Pick a bad player for the Bears today. I think it's been a team effort. No one's really dominated. I think Roka's been good. Holland again in the ruck. He's having a purple patch of form, which is good. But blokes like Davies, Shannon, Nicky Allen for his 1%ers.
The three Bretts.
Yeah, all the Brett boys have been outstanding.
You throw all of them in the mix.
Yep.
Good. If in doubt, call Brett. Right, there's three of them out on the ground. There's a really good intercept there by Roe Hiscock.
Another one that's done well, done his job.
Yeah, he's done his job. He goes out wide towards Rokar, who was held on to, wanted to play on. Couldn't quite control the footy, and the umpire said, well, come back over your mark anyway. Now he's telling him to play on. Rokar, got to get his skates on, does. Gets it over to Hiscock, marks it at centre half back. Digs in with a good hand pass there to Matty Brett. Brett to Allen. Allen spears the ball inside 50, cut off by Paddy Robinson. Robinson now rebounds off the half-back flank now, goes down towards Jamie Dunn, plays on, right foot kick up to the half-forward flank. Good spoil coming over the top there was Dugard. His second effort was great too. He scooped it off the ground to Shannon. Shannon now to Davies. Davies pumps it long. That's almost going to go the full measure. It does. No! Just scraped the fingernail. And that would have been by far the best passage of play and goal of the afternoon, but unfortunately a fingernail of a defender.
They've turned it over, Jason.
Well, it could be on again. And who was it? Good defensive effort there.
It was Morrison. But geez, I tell you what, I would have liked to see a camera review of that, to be honest with you. Minogue goes short. Hiscock is going to shoot for goal now. They're back inside 50. He's going to kick from about 45. 76 plays 21. 13.5 minutes gone, final term. But Morrison arrived like a superhero, didn't he, in the nick of time?
He did.
Just got a fingertip to it, so it's only a minor score. But here's a chance for Rowan Hiscock to put him even further ahead. This could make it up to a 70-point margin, 68-point goal. Does. 11-16, 82 plays 3-3-21, nearly 14 minutes gone. Goal Power last term.
Nice goal. He would have kicked that regardless of the wind, or the distance anyway, but he's a nice kick for goal. Rowan Hiscock got a nice left boot on him, but again, another one kicks the goal, another one stands up for the Bears. It's not the reliance on the James Wong as weeks gone by, which is real positive for the Bears heading into September.
With thanks to AJ's marks inside 50 today, 14-9 Shepparton's way. It tells you where they've been where they've been winning it. That mark inside 50 is a really big sort of...
I can tell you where they really have been winning it, the Bears, in the centre contest. All four of their on-ballers touched it as Davies drove them forward, looking for Wardle. Couldn't mark it. Ball at ground level. Wardle goes back at Robinson, won it, got dispossessed of the footy by the Bears. Ball comes out the back. Nicky Allen actually does the smart thing, puts it to between centre forward and full forward. Chance for Broderick to run onto it, but Wood gets there first. Morrison gets there as well. Geez, they've all overrun it. Wood goes back and wins it for the Saints. His hand pass looking for Morrison wasn't accurate, and it went out of bounds in front of that scoreboard that shows the in the final term, 15 minutes gone, 11-16, 82 plays Benalla 3-3-21 as Jason Welsh just shakes his head.
Yeah, look, I didn't see this coming. I just did not see it, I must say. But I mean, now that you see the two sides match up, and I think it's run true across the whole coverage this afternoon. There's a fair bit separating these two sides, albeit with Benalla missing 3 key players this afternoon, key midfielders. But, I mean, when MVD gave us a stat at half-time, it was 16-4. They were belted around the footy, and something had to change, and it just hasn't. They continue to dominate that stat. Why isn't that a mark? Must have been touched.
Handball. It's a handball.
Okay, well, there you go. As Roe Hiscock tied up in a tackle, the footy comes back out there, was chased by Rokar. Now Luke Morgan, who's had a statless third quarter.
A free kick. Is that going to be to Egan?
And that could almost be 50 if it's a free kick to Shepparton. Sort of dashed away trying to take advantage of the situation, but the umpire said no.
Jeez, I mean, that was like Morgan today, even given that free kick away there against Egan. You have a look at the pace that he should have been able to generate to get away from him. Giving away a cheap free kick. They've still got the ball, the Bears, tucked up against the boundary line. Hiscock. He's got to put it into the centre corridor, centre half forward. Big Matt Brett's there, can't get it. McNo can at ground level, goes out wide. Looking there for Wardle, goes over his head. Now a chance for David Mennonite. To me, he's easily been Benalla's best. This bloke, been a real good game. Goes inside, finds Jaden Jones. He goes to centre half back and he finds the coach in Morgan. Morgan will go out wide to Robinson. He will mark at right half back. Well, he's still inside defensive 50, really. 82 plays 21. If you just tuned in favour of the Shepparton Bears. 17-minute mark to tick over. Final term here at Deakin Reserve. Goes down the line there, looking for a teammate there in Thompson. Can't find it. Hiscock gets, and I think it was Egan as well, just put it out of bounds for a boundary throw in at left half forward for the Bears.
With thanks to GMC around the grounds, Shep Swans and Echuca 58 points apiece.
Dub. Called it. Odds. Gamble responsibly.
Can you just let the listeners know why you're getting excited there?
Oh, because you've stated in the Shepparton News, the only one
Nowhere else, though.
out of that.
Excuse me. No,
Hold on, before the game.
As a draw.
Yeah.
I said it would be a draw.
Oh, did you say it would be a draw?
Yes, I did.
In writing, MVD.
Fair enough.
Well, I'll finish this game off for you if you just want to duck over to Princess Park and organise the draw.
Everyone, just blow the siren now. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, irrespective of which way it goes, I think just assessing where both those sides are at, it wasn't really that hard to do. As the ball is at centre half forward, Shepparton take the mark, and this is going to be another shot on goal here, pacing out his run-up.
Is it Andronako?
Yeah, I reckon it's Anthony Andronako here, boys.
It's difficult to tell the difference between him and Jonty Wardle at times, isn't it? But
Especially when they're not running.
yeah, well, both got the long do's.
So what's he got to do here, Michael? Is he got to bowl this ball or what? He measured it out like
He's a
Michael
wicket
Holding.
He's a wicket keeper, so he shouldn't be bowling anyway.
There you go, on the right foot. Tell you what, though, it's off to the left-hand side. For just a minor score, so they go to 11-17. The Shep Bears 83, and they lead Benalla 3-3, 21-18 and three-quarter minutes gone. Final term, Kyle.
Yeah, it's gone a bit of a stalemate this last quarter, hasn't it, really? I mean, it's not the best football going around at the moment. There's a win. There's no doubt about that, Dub. As you give a fist pump, not sure why.
Yeah, GWS
Johnson
just kicked a goal.
Okay. Yep.
And he's got a bit of an interest in that. Not that he comes from Greater Western Sydney,
I
but
didn't realise he was such a big GWS man. But I do now.
He does like the colour orange.
Thompson.
Don't mind the colour green either, especially the cold, hard
Morgan.
folding
Ooh.
stuff. When it goes out of bounds, far side. That was some heavy contact there.
Good with, well, Thompson and Dunstan there with their eyes both on the footy, trying to win it. Out of side, collided. Ball went out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Umpire to throw it back in.
With thanks to AJ's just quickly there, Sharpie. 4-4-28 this quarter for Shepparton. They kicked the same in the first quarter.
Yeah, look, it's just an absolute smashing at the moment. 62 points they are down, and I doubt very much that Luke Morgan would have come to Deakin Reserve today expecting this sort of all-round performance. There hasn't been many shining lights really for Benalla this afternoon. I think we've sort of mentioned Dave Menon, but look, I mean, Luke Morgan, one of my favourite players in the competition, honestly, across the journey, what I've seen him be able to do in games. Geez, had a stinker today.
Yep.
He just hasn't been able to get his hands on the footy, but that's full credit to the Shep midfield, and you've got to give a lot of credit as well to Ash Holland, because I'll tell you what, geez, he's dominated the ruck.
They're starved. starved the Benalla players the ball in the middle. And his hit-outs, Holland, as I said before, the good part about Ash Holland, I reckon he'd have to have a 75% or maybe greater strike rate at actually getting it to his man. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Not just hit outs. Hit-outs to advantage.
Yeah, to advantage, yeah. But this time Thompson for the Saints gets hand pass. So this bloke's been good for him, Davies. Can't win it this time. You need to hand on Tommy O'Brien.
That's dropping it.
Yep. That is dropping it. If you ever want to see a perfect example of dropping the ball, that one's it. And Davies, geez, he's been good. There's nothing fancy about him. But this time it's Wardle's got it now. His right foot kick is not a good one, but it's got to find Rowan Hiscock, who can just amble inside 50 and head towards goal and go 12-17-89 to 3-3-21 in favour of the Bears. 2 for Hiscock.
2 for Hiscock. Just a lovely finish there. A little bit...
that was a bit rolled.
Looked lazy, really.
Talking about you travelling in a Mercedes today, that was Mercedes-Benz stuff, wasn't it? The way he just walked in and cruised inside 50 and then just drilled it beautifully through the goals for another goal. So 89 plays 21. We've played 21 and a half minutes. Final term here at Deakin Reserve.
With thanks to GMCU around the grounds, Moon Oval, 14-11-95 Rochester, 4-3-27 Euroa.
How does that happen?
I've got no idea.
That's a huge turnaround, isn't it, by Rochester?
Turnaround?
That's massive.
There should be an inquiry into it.
Yeah. Like Elliot Bowen come back into the side. Who else they have back in?
Perry Oliver.
Perry Oliver. So 2 really important players there, structures, come back in and it just balances them up. And, well, that just is a fantastic turnaround. And I must admit, I put a bit of a knock on Rochester last night when we were talking about Goulburn Valley football. 116-point loss to Kyabram, and I was prepared to put a little bit of a knock on them today as well. But and I'll put my hand up and say, you know what? Well, they've turned it around. Simple as that. And that's great to see.
It's the second time Euroa have been beaten by a side that was flogged by Kyabram the week before. Maybe there's something in that. Don't know.
Yeah, well, it's
Who's Euroa got next week? Mansfield?
An interesting stat. Ball up we've got just on the tack side.
They do too.
This bloke here, Matt Ryan, he's been good for the Bears as well. Gets a hurried right foot kick forward. Robinson's in the way for Benalla, but it goes back out, and Ryan gets it again. His left foot kick is touched off the boot. Boundary throw in at left half forward for the Bears.
Well, Sharpie, we'll play this game. We'll see how this one pans out because Kyabram are 109, Mansfield 33, and Mansfield's got Euroa next week. We'll see how that.
Yeah, well, that's how it's been all year. Euroa this year have
on the road
have got the team that played Kyabram the week before for the whole season, which is another interesting stat, but it has worked. Geez, I'll tell you what, if Mansfield beat Euroa next week, I'll tell you what, there should be an inquiry into it. Anyway, that's the way it goes. Martin, down the line he goes. Oh, here's a chance now for them to get out of trouble through Blackburn. He's going to run the distance. He does. Kicks towards goal. And guess what?
Snagged it.
He's jagged it through the middle. 4-3-27. The Benalla Saints go on to.
Fair goal.
And they trail by, still by 62 points, though. As the big goal sign comes up here, it always amuses me, this sign here that comes up and says goal, 12-17-89, plays 4-3-27. I think everybody on the ground realised that he actually kicked a goal, and then it comes up with the goal. They can get rid of that, which to me I reckon they should do, but Benalla get their 4th goal. How long between drinks was that, Michael? That'll fill in a bit of time.
No, well,
21 minutes.
Yeah, but they did kick the first goal of this quarter.
Yeah, so the third minute of this quarter and then the 24th
minute. Yeah, so 21 minutes in between goals. Really not good enough, is it, if you're going to win a game of football?
No, picked up by James Martin in the middle of the ground. He kicked out wide, hoping to find a teammate, but he found an opponent instead in Matty Shannon, who picked it up and just very cleanly used the footy, and he put it on Joel Brett's chest, who's very quickly.
Right, what goalpost here, Dub? Right?
It's a mystery.
Right or left?
Yeah,
right.
Look, I just inside right, I reckon.
Yeah.
You just got to go inside right here. So just pop it up in the air. Aim to kick it about 35. It'll travel 50. He starts it there, and guess what? It goes through the middle.
Played a great game.
He has played a ripper. And Joel Brett, I'll tell you what, he's got to very slowly be coming into calculations to be considered to feature in Shep's best this afternoon. He's had a really good day at the office.
I was just about to say to Kyle, best of luck. You've got another week where you're going to come up with the best player, and you could name another 6 players, and you could name 6 and still get it wrong. Somebody else could come up with another 6, but you got the job. 95 plays 27.
Team effort, I think. Team effort today.
Oh, that's it. That's how we put it in paper. Yeah, exactly. Team effort.
Well, you could always
put
just
in the
give
best.
it. Why can't you just give it to the team? Just say, well, Shep Bears get the Harvey Norman.
Yeah, well, you could. There goes the final siren. The pain ends now for the Benalla Saints, but does their season. Well, there's certainly a lock to play finals. It's not that drastic, but is there really that much separation between 3rd and 4th on the ladder? Well, the scoreboard tells us that there is 68 points difference between these two sides, and that translates to 11 goals too. That really is quite telling after round 15 here. A great performance this afternoon by Brad Campbell's troops, the Shepparton Footy Club,